With Elden Ring being out for about a week now and having quite a bit of time on the game, I wanted to give a couple weapons that are low in stats that have helped me quite a bit in the early game for new players to the Souls series. Now, this doesn't mean that these are the best early game weapons, nor does it mean that they'll be the best for you to use. This is my personal list that I have used, plus just them being overall good weapons to use. None of these weapons are particularly hard to get, and the stat requirements are low enough that some of the starter classes can use them off rip, or you just need a few levels in either strength or dex. For starters, you're going to want to hit up the first 3 graces when you get into the game. You're going to want the horse because you'll be traveling a bit to get to the weapons. From the grace you get the horse at, you'll want to head down towards the camp and continue past there. Don't forget to grab the map piece at the camp to uncover more areas, and make sure you rest at any graces you find along the way. From there, you'll want to head down towards the bottom right of the map. You'll eventually find a bridge called the Bridge of Sacrifice. As long as you have your horse, you can easily move around all the enemies and hit up the bonfire on the right side. After using it, continue going through the cliffs and you'll find a broken wall with a man on a horse coming out. Avoid this as he is a mini boss and he will probably eat your ass. Once he passes, go through the wall and immediately head towards the right side of the area. There's a giant archer on the other side and he'll probably snipe you like he's the founder of FaZe. As long as you stay on the right side, you can sneak up behind him and enter the castle. Use the grace here in case you get clapped for what you need to do after. Take the elevator up and you'll see these creatures chanting, but don't worry. You can sneak around them without being noticed by going onto the right side. You can enter through this doorway, and here's where you'll be killing these enemies to get their weapon. It's RNG on if you get the weapon or not, but you should get it fairly quickly. They also give out a decent amount of souls per kill. The weapon that they drop is the Iron Cleaver. With a strength requirement of 15 and dex of 7, this is easily one of the better early game weapons to use. The physical attack power is also pretty good for what it is. The light attack is a quick hacking movement that goes on until you run out of stamina, and the heavy attack is an overhead slam. Charge it up and it becomes a running overhead slam, which is its biggest advantage. With the charged up overhead slam, you will 9 times out of 10 stagger the enemy and will be able to riposte to deal massive damage. Later in the game, you can pick up a talisman that heals upon critical hits. Every time you do a riposte, you will get a good chunk of your health back. This next weapon has one requirement: for you to become a cold-blooded murderer. You'll want to head up to this path and find a place called Murkwater Coast. Do a little bit of parkour to not die from fall damage on the cliff and head down the river. You'll be invaded by the legend himself, Bloody Fingers. Do not be afraid, however. If you last long enough, a friendly spirit will be summoned and help you in the fight. Beat Bloody Fingers' ass and you're rewarded with the weapon. Nah, that weapon's ass! After you complete this fight, you'll see a cave. Enter and immediately sneak as there are enemies walking around. You'll reach this little grassy looking area. Go to the right and you'll see a fog gate. Enter it and you'll see, well, nothing actually. Oh look, there's a chest here. Oh, that voice. Is that Paul Boy Patches? Hey, yo, it is! Beat his ass and he'll throw in the towel like the big coward he is. He'll talk to you about selling some items and stuff, just exhaust all the dialogue. Rest at a grace and go back to Patches. Go ahead and look at the items he sells, because he does sell some nice stuff. Make sure you search well and get what you want, because this will be the last time we get to see Bald Boy Patches. Oh yes, viewer, we are indeed turning this man into a t-shirt. Get behind him and blow his back out. He's not a hard fight. Actually, he's pretty easy. As long as you guard and dodge, you won't have any problems taking him on. And with that, you now have Patch's armor, and most importantly, his spear. Patch's spear is a regular spear with the added benefit of already being plus 7. A strength requirement of 12 and dex of 15. This as well is easily obtainable for very good damage early game. The light attack is a quick stab and the heavy is, well, a heavy stab. The charged heavy attack is an even heavier stab, with a very good chance of stagger. A benefit of using spears is the fact that you keep your shield up when attacking. Never put yourself at risk while also having good damage output. While you're here, open up this chest. It'll teleport you in front of a bear, but don't worry about it. Just take the path I do and you'll find yourself a grace with both a sacred tear and a flask of physic. An honorable mention will be the Uchikatana. This is a weapon the samurai class starts off with and it deals crazy damage due to its blood loss passive. You can find it in the Death Touch catacombs laying over this corpse. Overall, these are 3 good early game weapons that can carry you to about level 40 or so. By that point, you should have found more weapons and have chosen one that better suits your playstyle and needs. I wouldn't really recommend you upgrade these weapons, especially at the time of this video, as upgrading regular weapons are buns compared to upgrading boss weapons. I hope this video is useful to some of you, and I hope you enjoy your time playing Elden Ring. My name is DJ, and I'm gonna get my ass back to playing. Sayonara.